So I guess right now it's time to get into it. I guess the best thing that we would to do is to get into Nicki Minaj No Fraud record, post the track, and post the lyrics, put them up on the screen right now, and we'll get into the what you think about it and what I think about it shortly. All right. So here's what Nicki said in this No Fraud record that she went at Remy Ma. All my real niggas down the ride, throw your GXRs up, whatever. I ain't in the projects, but all my bricks is up. You can't be Pablo if your work ain't selling. What the fuck is this bitch in Helen? I would have helped you out that pit you fell in. I am the generous queen. Ask Miss Ellen. Tried to drop another one. You was itching to scrap. You exposed your ghostwriter. Now you wish it was scrapped. Heard your pussy on yuck. I guess you needed a pap. What type of bum bitch shoot a friend over a rack? What type of mother leave her one son over a stack? Little boogie down basic bitch thinking she back? Back to back? Oh, you meant back to whack? Back to back? Me and Drizzy laughed at that. They say numbers don't lie, but when you discussing the Kings, they turned around and said LeBron ain't got 6 rings, all right? I ain't never signed a 360, bitch, you wild dumb. That's why Jay ain't clear his verse for your album. Sinead, you a fraud committing perjury. I got before and after pictures of your surgery. Y'all heard me try to do that Nicki cadence. Rod took you to her doc, but you don't look like Rod. Left the operating table, still look like nah. All right, so that was Nicki Minaj's strongest response. She gave her a couple bars on another record called Change with Wayne. But this is pretty much it. And this record, No Fraud, features Drizzy Drake, and it also features Lil Wayne as well. The first time Young Money has did a track together. It's been a minute, right? What was the last song that these three did together? It's been a minute. Somebody figure that out for me and tell it in the comment section. It's definitely since the Truffle Butter record. I want to say that's the last. I feel like that's the last one. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the last track. So people want to know my overall just thoughts on the record. Here's the thing. Let's be honest. There's nothing Nicki Minaj would have did that would have surmounted or equivalent Sheether. Period. That's why Sheether is one of the top diss records of all time, because we know Nicki couldn't get anything off close to that. So let's not take away from Sheether by knocking Nicki Minaj, right? If we're going to say Sheether is one of the top diss records of all time, in that same breath, we have to acknowledge there's nothing Nicki could have done to suffice that. It just wasn't that Sheether. When you heard that shit, you heard that. You felt the bars. You felt Remy's passion. You felt her struggle, her pain, you kind of felt the neglect to even want to do this record. But once she got the spitting, you felt them bars coming out with ease. You felt in that track Remy was trying to end Nicki Minaj, all right? And No Frauds. Honestly, it felt like some warning shots to Remy. Nicki wasn't trying to end Remy. She was just trying to say, chick, bag back. You ain't me. You'll never be me. You know, what you're doing is corny. You're trying to get on. And I'm going to get back to the money, all right? So there's a lot of things happening, a lot of comments I got on like past blogs, and people are tweeting me, telling me what they think about the record, and a lot of people are disappointed in the record. Here's my thing. I told y'all what was going to happen. I told y'all. Y'all didn't listen to me. I did this blog yesterday. Yes, somebody had got to me and told me, a source told me that this record was coming. There was a possibility of it coming. Yes, I knew that. There was a possibility that this record was coming. I was aware. Yes. So let me go ahead and set up this disclaimer. Yes, I knew there was a possibility. Nicki was in studio with Drake and Wayne. And to get into that record before somebody says Drake and Wayne helped Nicki make a diss to Remy, the picture of Drake, Nicki, and Wayne in the studio a couple weeks ago when Nicki posted it and everything, that's when Drake and Wayne laid their bars down. So their verse was already done before Remy dissed Nicki. Nicki went back in. This song was coming anyways. This record was coming anyways. Drake and Wayne already had laid down the verses. Nicki went back in after the diss records, both the diss records, she threw in another one, and switched her bars to this. So she had a completely different verse for this track. But after Remy dissed her, she went back in. So no Drake and Wayne didn't have anything to do with this. This record was gonna be her single regardless. They were gonna lead with a Wayne. This is what Nicki wanted to lead with. She wanted to lead with a Wayne and Drake song for her album. Honestly, she notoriously does this on pretty much all her albums. They want the label to push it. They're gonna have the label get behind it, and this is how Nicki likes leading her albums, or close to leading her albums, with one of these huge records with 3 pop stars. It kind of shows her loyalty to Young Money and, of course, to Wayne in the process. I told y'all it was gonna happen. I said Nicki couldn't get back at Remy lyrically with the bars, but that doesn't mean Nicki just loses this battle. Because what Nicki Minaj did in this No Frauds record is what the problem is with Remy Ma. I tweeted about this as well. Here's the thing. Yes, each Sheether is 7 minutes of just attacks. So yes, Nicki was gonna be on the bad end of that with Remy, because Remy she can source information from pretty much everyone. Like, Nicki's that pop, and Nicki's a pop star. All right? And I know there's going to be the people who say, well, the bars, Telefarrell, what about the bars? Nicki's bars were not up to par. I actually like the No Fraud record. Were the bars where Remy's were at? No. But again, that proves Nicki's point. You can sit there and just be one of these hip-hop phenomenons and one of these people who sit there and sit there and look at the bars. You can wear the big Tims and the jeans all day, the big blue jeans all damn day. But I turn bars that might not be where your bars are at, but I'm able to leave the door open for a hit record. And for all them people saying that No Frauds is an okay record, let me tell y'all something. You're going to hear No Frauds all summer. That's a hit record. You put those 3 type of talents on one record, it's a hit. And Nicki knew that. So was she going to get Drake and Wayne for backup? If you really want to say that, I guess you could. But what she's doing is positioning herself to have a huge hit record, mainstream America, that Remy has to hear. It's kind of the back-to-back, what Drake did with back-to-back. You have to hear that record, Meek, over and over again. All right? That's what Nicki's saying. Well, me and Drizzy, we laughed at that, And people clowning Nicki because she a pop star is like the most absurd thing to me. So, listen, would you like Nicki to not talk about the money and the fame as much? Yes, because it's more than that. We wanted to hear you rap. Did she rap? I still think she did that. She did everything that I said she needed to do. Remember what I said she needed to do yesterday? I said you have to address this. You can't just sublime it. We're past that. She dropped 2 records. You claim you the queen? Nicki, you got to give us some bars. All right? But Nicki is the queen because she's rapping and she's also the biggest. All right? And she still stands toe at that. All right? I know there's going to be some people arguing with me, disagreeing with me. I'm cool with that. But hear me out. Just listen to what I'm saying. Remy did absolutely nothing with this Sheet the record to prove her to promote her brand. Yes, off top, you'd be like, wait a minute, what are you talking about, Telefarrell? Sheether is is number 2. Well, Sheether got taken down. Somebody just hit me and told me that Sheether is back up on iTunes and Apple Music and on Spotify. But Remy didn't do a due diligence. Hopefully Sheether can stay up. But again, these are the things that we're talking about with the differences between Nicki and Remy. Nicki ain't just trying to kill Remy. Remy tried to kill Nicki. Nicki made a hit record in the process of dissing her. I just think y'all get so caught up in bars. I get it. I like bars too. But I'm a down south nigga. I like bars, but I like records that sound great to me too. All right? I'm sorry, y'all. If you make it just a straight diss track, you put DJs in a tough spot, and it's like you can't play the record because of your ties to Remy. No, and your ties to Nicki. Like, people can't play Sheether. Like, DJ's not gonna be playing Sheether in the mix like that. But you can play this No Fraud. I get it. I like bars too, y'all. I'm not trying to say I don't like bars, but y'all so into bars, y'all want to take away from the business of the situation. Nicki made a hit record. No Frauds is a hit record. Remy made a diss record that can't even get cleared. There's a difference in these two songs, and more or less, there's a difference in these two people and where they're at in their careers. I'm sorry. We gonna get mad at Nicki for making the right moves, staying out of prison, and not being just a battle rapper? Now, don't get me wrong. Remy all the way up 2 times platinum. 2 times platinum. But many will argue that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Fat Joe. So much of Remy's success, her hit records for the most part of her career, come when she's featured or on a collab track. She just, I'm sorry, her career, y'all trying to put her as the queen of rap. I said if Nicki didn't respond, that's possible. But I'm sorry, y'all trying to put Remy the queen of rap. She can't make hit records or top songs without help. Without help. I'm just being honest about it, y'all. She can rap. Remy can rap her ass off. But at what point, I guess, what I'm trying to get to you guys is, at one point, is it about rapping and mixing hit songs? Can she draw that in between? And nobody does it better at still rapping but making hit records in that female MC standpoint than Nicki. I'm sorry, y'all. It just don't make a lot of business sense. For the hip-hop core fan that loves rap, I get it. That song, No Frauds, it was not it. And I think Nicki could have, some of these bars were just corny. And we have another segment coming up soon. And I'm going to get to all of Nicki Minaj's corniness because there was a lot of corny shit that Nicki Minaj did in the process. I'm going to get to that soon. You got it. But I just want to also get on the fact that this generation is so into pettiness. I think sometimes the pettiness is more important than the bars. I think people were so into the fact that Remy was talking about who Nicki was smashing over the, you know what I'm saying, the actual content of the lyrics. Y'all forget what's going on here. The record is going to be around for a while, and let's really break down these tracks. All right, let's cancel out the fact that both of these two talked about plastic surgery when they both have plastic surgery, right? Let's cancel that dumbass shit out. If you go look at the before and afters of both of these chicks, you can tell that they've had some type of work done to them, period. Let's get into the actual lyrics, though. What did Remy Ma talk about? Remy Ma talked about all, to the best of our knowledge, fictional information. That's all Remy did. She talked about, what did she talk about? The butt job? We don't know if that's true or not. With the butt drop, I've seen a picture online where Nicki's butt looks lower. I've also been told that that's a Photoshopped image. So we'll say that Nicki's butt dropping, what Meek said, is false. We'll also say that Remy talking to Meek Mill was false. We'll also say that Remy saying Ebro smashed, Ebro said it was false. We'll also say that Trey Songz smashing, we'll also say it was false. Wayne and Drake have always denied that they have never smashed or had sexual intercourse with Nicki Minaj. They say they want to, but they never did that. So outside of the plastic surgery talk, yes, Remy's track was more witty. It was better bars. It was all that. But what was true about it? Now go to Nicki Minaj's record. Back to the lyrics. Hold on now. Let's really read what she's saying. Back to back? Oh, you mean back to whack? Me and Drizzy laughed at that? Maybe her and Drake did laugh at that. Here's some more shit. What type of bum bitch shoot a friend over a rack? We don't know the specific details about why Remy went to jail, but she did go to jail over shooting a chick over some money, reportedly, all right? Also, what type of mother leave her one son over a stack? I don't know that one. I can't confirm that one more than I confirmed that Nicki smashed or Ebro or Trey Songz. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I never signed a 360 deal. If she didn't, bitch, you wild dumb. I actually like this bar a lot right here. They say numbers don't matter when they discussing the Kings. They turn around and say LeBron ain't got 6. People do say that. All right, so that's maybe not true in the sense of anything to do with Remy, but I think people do say that. And I thought it was a good playoff words because every time somebody talks numbers, with LeBron who's going to have the best numbers by far, they always say, well, he still ain't got 6 rings. All right. That's why Jay ain't clear a verse for his album. I mean, listen, guys, there is some truth in that. The All the Way Up remix, we've been told that Jay really didn't want to clear the verse or didn't care to clear the verse for their album. You think they didn't want that All the Way Up remix on there? I'm just saying, guys. And the surgery talk, I'm just going to leave it alone. And I'm not going to lie. I looked at this last bar, and I thought it was more than what it really was. I said, left the operating table. She looked like nah. Y'all remember I said that I thought Nicki was going to get into the fact that Remy and the miscarriage and all that. I thought nothing was off limits. Hell, Remy said that everything is fair in a diss record. You can talk about anything. I thought Nicki would have went at that. She didn't. It looks like she's talking about the plastic surgery more. All that plastic surgery talk is whack. All right? So, to me, the record is going to be around a while, and people just got to deal with that, period. People got to deal with that. Remy got to hear that record. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the difference between Nicki Minaj and Remy. When we come back, we're going to get deeper into this conversation. I'm going to get into all Nicki Minaj's corniness, all right? And I'm going to even get into, do I think Remy's going to respond? Because Nicki Minaj did some corny shit in the midst of dropping this record. There is some corniness. Telepharo TV, the podcast, episode 2, I believe. When we get back, we'll have more, all right? Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. We'll be back after this commercial break. All right, we are back. We're still talking Nicki Minaj. There was a lot of corniness I saw from Nicki Minaj in this response to Sheether, and really another one, all right? First and foremost, speaking of that, I thought it was corny that Nicki Minaj didn't respond to Sheether. She only labeled her response to another one as if Sheether didn't happen. Nicki, you cannot ignore Sheether. All right? One of the best diss records of all time. I told y'all Remy was going to put herself in this position. I hate that she did that. When she made another one, it was a garbage record. I didn't like it. And I thought she put herself in a position for Nicki to be like, nah, this is why I'm not responding to you at all. I thought Nicki wouldn't even respond after that because she's like, you looking for attention. I thought another one was stupid. And I knew that would be an out for Nicki Minaj. And Nicki did respond. But what Nicki was able to do was use another one as an out to not have to address Sheether. I thought that was corny from Nicki. You cannot ignore Sheether, all right? Here's Nicki's premise. She believes that Sheether was nothing but lies, so she don't feel the need to address it. With that being said, I still think you gotta do something because Sheether was nothing but bars, like period. I'm gonna give Remy her credit there. Something else I thought that was corny. Why are Remy and Nicki exchanging surgery talk? We both know both y'all had plastic surgery. Period. Y'all both look completely different from the pictures. And I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. Black women get better with age, wine, nutrition, all that. Like wine, whatever the hell I'm trying to say. But let's not act like the differences between y'all happens overnight or happens in 10 to 15 years. Both y'all had plastic surgery. It's obvious. Period. Why are y'all talking about that? So when Nicki's in the midst of her verse, when she's talking about going under the, what did she say? Let's look at it here real quick. I got before and after pictures of your surgery. Ra took you to her doc, but you don't look like Ra. Left the operating table, still look like not. That's corny. That's garbage. Garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage. You gonna talk about something that you had done? Garbage. I don't like it. I thought it was trash. I just thought it was trash, y'all. I really thought it was trash. The response on IG was garbage as well. We'll pull that up and we'll talk about that. Nicki responded on IG with a very long post, and I think this is garbage as well. Why even take this there? Here's what Nicki Minaj said on her Instagram account. Young Money, to the death of me, committing perjury. I got before and after pictures of your surgery. Stop surgery shaming before I post them. Hashtag fraud. And I like that Nicki addressed that she had surgery too. Diss records can't be lies. Grace diss records are facts. But here at Young Money, we don't do diss records. We drop hit records and diss you on them. I got a bunch more on Cock. Pause. The Greats took 3 months to respond to diss records. Queens don't move on peasant time. Queens shut down Paris, then drop hits On Queen Time, I love my fans. Y'all the real MVPs. Been writing my own rap since I was 11. God knows next week I'll beat Aretha for the most Hot 100 hits on Billboard by any woman in the world ever in the history of music. Stay in your bum ass place. Jealousy gets you nowhere. Love to all my bad bitches. Now I got a countdown of my own for Shanae. You got 72 hours to drop a hit, and I'll give you $500,000 if you can book any show or interview without mentioning the Queen name. On another note, my album is nothing but ways. LOL, my babies, you're gonna get your complete life. Love you guys so fucking much. Let's go. Hashtag no fries change. Reggie Martin, shout out to Lady Love for speaking facts. They act like they didn't see her interview though. LOL. All right. Here's the thing. I thought that was corny. I think the post pretty much entirely is corny. The whole "I'll give you $1 million" thing, corny, because we put numbers back into it too much. I'm okay if Nicki puts it in the bars about the numbers. I'm cool if you give me a cool 4 or 8 about the numbers. I'm fine with that. But that whole posting about how I want to see you do this and that, I'll give you some money, I'm on top of that didn't matter here. I thought that was very corny by Nicki. I just thought it was corny. I thought it was garbage. Didn't need to be done. I didn't like that. I didn't like that a lot. Then speaking of Instagram, Nicki also did something else that I thought was pretty damn corny. She posted the lyrics to her records, all of them, by the way. Her verses on the new records. To give her credit, she did the I Changed with Wayne one as well. She posted the lyrics and disabled the comments as if people were getting to her saying that her bars were weak so bad that she couldn't take it and she disabled the comments. That's garbage, y'all. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's garbage. All right? I don't like that. I can't respect that. I just thought that was weak. I just think you're showing us that you care what people think. If you're really confident in the bars, you say you the queen, let people be able to comment. You disable the comments on your IG, Nicki. That means you know your bars are questionable, all right? No, they are not Sheetha bars. We knew that. You ain't hiding them from us. We know that's not Sheetha, period. We're trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but don't go disabling your comments. That doesn't make any sense. Because now it's like you want to believe in your mind that these bars are close to Sheetha, and that's just not the case. All right? And those are some of the things I just thought was corny. Nevertheless, Nicki did a great job of getting some aura over her name. It looks like her album is coming by the end of March. Looks like maybe even an April release. It definitely will be here soon. I'm pretty sure she's about to announce a tour soon for the end of the year. So it looks like Nicki's prepping for that. That's just my opinion on Nicki. I thought some corniness was there. When we come back, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to talk Nicki and her ex-boyfriend Meek. We're going to discuss if we thought what was a more disappointing response from a bars. All right, I'm going to do this for the hip-hop heads because y'all get on my damn nerves. When Nicki responded, because we both had to wait a few days for both of these tracks. What was a more disappointing response? I'll break it down. Nicki's response to Remy or Meek's response to Drake. All right? Stay tuned. Pay some bills. We'll be back. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@ismrteleferro.com. Again, that's booking@ismrteleferro.com.